Did you get it?
Pretty good.
My husband brought it home from work.
Dude, I can't find webcams anywhere right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this one. I don't know how to put it somewhere. Like, it doesn't have a hanging mechanism that hangs on the back of anything.
Duct tape, Danica, duct tape.
Brilliant. That's why you get paid the big bucks, Anthony. You're a real problem solver.
Resourceful.
You are wildly resourceful.
Hey. So we are active. We're moving. It's working. I lost sleep about this last night because I could not go live all day yesterday. And I Googled it, and there was no outages, but it did say, I don't know, man. It doesn't really matter at this point, does it? So this is week 2 of What is Your Real Estate Story? We're going each week, and we're talking about things and all kinds of things, but life, activities, planning, anything we can do to help out your real estate or your lending career. So we try to keep it as neutral as possible. Last week we talked about building relationships, retaining the relationships, and having a referral network. This week we're going to the opposite side. We're going the polar opposite, and we're going to talk about generating leads, going consumer direct, and actually converting the leads. So this week we have Amy, and Amy, you're with
Integrity Mortgage Group.
And who are you?
So I'm Amy. I've been in the mortgage industry for about 10 years, going on 11 or so. I recently took over this branch about 2 years ago. So before that, I was a loan officer with Integrity Mortgage and with another company before that for about 3 years.
Dope. And next, we have the illustrious, the amazing Danica. I'm not even going to try your last name.
Nobody does that. Nobody tries it.
Kostolnik.
Oh, you got it.
Of course I know your name.
Got it.
It looks like Kostolnik.
I bet he can even spell it too.
Maybe.
So I'm the world's greatest loan officer, as we all know, and I work for Stearns. And I've been doing this for literally half my life. In a couple of weeks, I'll have been doing mortgages for half my life, for 20 years. So that's kind of cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And then next up, we have the robot general. Is no longer the suckiest LO ever. He's actually a good LO now.
He's the okayest LO now.
He's the okayest LO now.
He's been promoted because there's deals, you know.
Yeah.
And he learned how to read.
That was the toughest part.
Right. Taking that first step is the biggest one.
Yep. So, Mr. Lee, tell us who you are, man.
So the reason why I'm Frisco's okayest LO, because world's greatest LO is already taken, right? And, you know, of course, the world's suckiest LO is just me trolling Danica, you know. So it's just, playing words. But yes, I would say that, well, I'm a branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage here in Frisco, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth, for those who don't know Dallas. And yes, I have decided to return back full-time to originating. It wasn't by choice. It was by necessity because I had so many deals and I just decided to, well, my wife kind of pushed me to start originating. So I'm back and yeah, I guess I'm not doing too bad. But my side hustle would be actually marketing. I'm more of a marketing guy, Ramon Agency, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, when people say, what hobby did you pick up during the quarantine? I would actually say loan origination. That's the hobby I picked up. So that's why I'm back. So yeah.
We're all really proud of you for doing it too.
Yeah,
you're doing an awesome job.
I appreciate it. I can do better, obviously, but
we all can.
Yes, but I think I'm doing okay, considering the insanity that we're all dealing with as loan officers with the rates and COVID and all that crap. So I chose a bad time, but a good time to come back. So I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come back.
You chose the best time.
Right? If you can get through this, you can get through anything.
It's the best pandemic ever.
I was trying to limp in, do one loan a month. You know what I'm saying? Just feel good about that one loan. That's what I was trying to do. It didn't work out that way.
It never does.
You got to be all in or not in.
Agreed.
All right, so let's get into this, man. We have a great group of people here. You guys, I've learned a lot. Amy, you and I aren't as familiar with each other. We do know each other. I respect you. I think you're awesome, and I love the lipstick. It looks great
Thank
today.
you.
Danica and Larry have really taught me how to have taught me how to run ads and the funnels and stuff like that. And it's something I was always, timid of doing, maybe a little intimidated. And they broke it down in a way that was simple. So I just want to start with this study I did this over COVID. So we set up an ad. Larry designed that. We set it up and we started running it, and I started understanding the whole thing. And all of a sudden, I'm getting about 20, 30 leads a week. And what I tried to do is pass them out to industry people, realtors, to work with me on them, right? Because the call to action seems to be real estate, because real estate's a lot sexier than lending. No one wants to talk, oh, my APR, who cares, right? So I realized there was no conversion. So then I started thinking, okay, let me try one of these big teams that actually has a system out here. And gave them some, and boom, what do you know? Conversion, right? So I thought, there's the saying of, do your leads suck or do you suck? And I'm going to side with the part that you suck. And I don't mean this to be a personal shot against anybody, but it's okay to suck if we try to get better. It's like, it's okay to fail as long as you get back up and do better, right? Look at why you failed and how we can correct it. And brought me to this right here with you guys now. It's like, I've spent in the past years, unfortunately, a ton of amount of money on lead systems, one that rhymes with pillow, one that, you got the bombs and the commission inks out there and all that stuff. And I'm not saying they're bad, but I never saw a lot of conversion from anybody. So then it was like, let's cut that out of our diet. For an LO to go consumer direct or a realtor to go consumer direct, it's essentially doing the same thing that those other companies are doing, except they're charging you to be the middleman and do the work for you, right? So I want to open this up right now with, why did you decide to go consumer direct? Like, what was the intent of it, and how did you get into it? And I will go start with Danica.
I don't think I knew any better. I was an underwriter for 16 years, and I came out here and I was like, well, now I'm a salesperson. I guess I better sell something. But I honestly didn't think about asking realtors to refer business over at first. So I just started building funnels and started working those leads. And I think it was a really good place to start. I don't know that it's the end all be all, but it's still a good source of our business when we're promoting something specific. Otherwise, I've kind of migrated everything to an organic Facebook presence that's out of this world. Like, I just have 5,000 eyes on me at all times, and they know what I do, and we've built relationships, and they like me and they trust me. And when they buy a house, they're going to want to work with me. So I get the first phone call. And over 4 years, that's been an incredible, almost 70%. It is 72% of my business year after year is just my friends and family wanting to do mortgages, because ultimately they want to buy a house. I think the mortgage part is sexy though right now, Anthony. I think these rates are pretty sexy.
I've been doing this for 20 years, man. I think mortgages are really sexy, but everybody's got their own taste.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
In the form of marketing though, like when you're going to buy a BMW, you're not thinking of BMW finance and how I'm going to finance this BMW. You're going to go buy that BMW, right? So one thing Larry taught me is, keep the salesperson as far away from the ad as possible. So Larry, let me go to Amy. Amy, what led you into the curiosity and development of consumer direct and lead generation?
So my story is pretty similar to Danica. Mine's probably 60-40 self-generating. Most of it is through just organic stuff through Facebook, but I'm also in like a very small area, and I'm on a ton of different local boards and a bunch of like nonprofit organizations. And so I'm around a ton of people every week, going to meetings and Zoom calls and just constantly talking about mortgages and stuff.
Yeah. A lot can be said by just having conversation with people. And that's what was said last week too, was be part of the boards. No, actually it's a class that Coach Kelly Kilmer teaches through Hero Nation. It's how to obtain realtors. And, you know, one of the big thing is go to the association meetings, go do what they're doing, be where they're at, know what they know, and have you know, contribute. And that helps out as well, right? And then we have just Larry, how did you get into this mess, man? How did you go from being the illest donut maker in the world to becoming this lead generated pirate?
So I sold cars before I joined the mortgage business, and I was killing it, and I didn't want to leave. And you know, the car business, people are coming in, and they have their own database. Obviously, they've been in established dealerships. I was calling, you know, people who bought cars from us, trying to buy their old cars. You know, people who are coming to service. So it's literally just handed to me, the leads, right? So whenever I got, I call it tricked into the mortgage business. He would say he didn't trick me, but I think he did, because he didn't tell me everything. He made it seem like there was a long list of agents that I'm going to call that they've already kind of teed up. And I'm going to just say, hey, you know, give me your loans. So the first day I was like, okay, so where's this list of agents supposed to call? He's all like, list. I'm like, yeah, you told me there's a bunch of agents for me to call. I was like, yeah, the list is called google.com. And I was like, what? So I literally had to find my own business, like from scratch. And I had never bought a house. I've never did a mortgage. I don't know any real estate agents, none. Okay. So I did what he did, you know, and I found Zillow, and Zillow had all those agents, and I was calling them. I was getting my ass kicked because either they didn't pick up their phone, or it went to voicemail, whatever, or they're like, who are you? Why are you calling me? Right? Because, you know, they're expecting it to be a client when someone calls, you know, I'm calling as a loan officer trying to pitch them. And they're like, yeah, no, I have a preferred lender. So I basically was cold calling 50 to 100 agents a day and just getting my ass kicked. And I remember bitching about it on Facebook to somebody on Messenger, and then an ad popped up that said, why cold calling sucks and should be illegal. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it was like a sign from God. No, it was just the Facebook algorithms, right? But I thought it was a sign from God. So I clicked the video. It ended up being Ryan Stewman, which, you know, of course, all you guys are familiar with. And he was kind of talking about, like, you know, how cold calling, you know, it doesn't work. No one picks up the phone. It's all about text messaging. And he had a group. So I joined the group, conversions, automation, because I was always a marketing guy, you know, doing websites and graphic design. But that's when I learned about the lead generation. Now, the reason why I started doing what I do is because marketing was sort of a good in with real estate agents, because they need flyers and all sorts of stuff. And I remember seeing a really ugly flyer from an agent that I knew. I was like, hey, do you want a better flyer? I can make one for you professionally. I used to do it for a living. He's like, can you? I'm saying, yeah. I was like, how much do I pay you? I'm like, I'm not asking for payment. If you just let me co-brand with you, I'm cool with that. And she's like, done. So I did that, and she loved me, and then she started sending me deals. I was like, holy crap, that's the secret sauce. That's a book of business. I don't have anything. So I'm just going to look for agents who need marketing and just pitch that. And that's how it all started. And the funnels and marketing just kind of added to that, you know? So I just got lucky that I happen to love marketing. And I've been doing it since the 90s, like designing websites. So it just kind of allowed me to use a skill that I had. If I didn't have that skill, I don't know what I would be doing, honestly.
Chasing down the lead boys. So, Amy, who taught you how to do your first ad?
Larry.
Oh, dang. What are the principles of doing an ad? Like, I'm a beginner. I'm watching this right now, and I'm like, look, I need some gems.
So, I mean, I don't spend a lot of money doing the Facebook ads or anything. I do maybe like 5 a year. Most of mine are just like normal everyday Facebook posts, either on my business page or my personal page. Most of my stuff comes from my personal page. But I mean, just on the ads, just do something like that catches people's attention and sounds relatable and nothing that's like all mortgage mumbo jumbo. You have to sound relatable to people for them to even want to click on it or see what you're talking about.
Key
Yeah,
number
that's
one, sound
be
relatable.
relatable.
Yeah,
Not sound relatable, be relatable.
right.
Be relatable.
Don't be afraid to be yourself and tell your story. People identify with you, not with what you do for a living. And when they like you, they're going to call you for a house. But at first, not everybody sees you until you figure out how the algorithm works and how you can work within it. Like, I don't see you guys all the time on Facebook. You don't see me all the time, but we know everybody else that we need to see us is seeing us. And that takes years of months, maybe 6 months, 12 months to build that organic presence. And while you're doing that, you can be running ads. That's how I did it. Like I was
So,
getting,
let me slow you down a little bit. So you said you got purple in your hair today?
it's always blue. Yeah.
Oh, I love it, man.
Thanks.
So let's talk about building your audience and talk about the organic side of it. So we got number one is keys. Key number one is be relatable. Let's talk about building your audience. Who wants to jump into that? Go ahead.
So for me, it's super important to post when people are online. So like every single one of us on this call makes a first thing in the morning post. And the only time I ever talk about mortgages throughout the day is that post. I check in at my office. Whether I'm at my office or not, I'm literally never there. But it looks like I am. So people know what I do. And it's a little way to wake up and be inspired and, have a little clip of something. And I've done it every single day for 4 years. And then I get to 10:30 when people are taking their first coffee break or whatever and post. That's when people are on. Post at lunchtime, post right when they get off work, post right before they go to bed. And if you do that every single day, you will build a presence as long as your posts are funny and engaging and insightful. And people want to relate with you. So you got to make it relatable. Back to what Amy said. Like if it's not interesting, people just are going to fade off into obscurity with you.
Yeah.
Bottom line is you need to get every friend you have, you need to get in their top 53 because Facebook throttles you. So it's not about your feed. It's about getting into the feeds of everybody else. And you don't do that without getting them to engage with you in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. Larry, you once had that thing put together, like your four mandatory posts of the day or the 4 posts of the day.
Yep.
And I picked up from that, and it actually helps me personally too. But the first post of the day is to be something like inspirational. And Ryan Stewman, I picked this up from Ryan and Stewman and Wayne Salmons, is part of your morning routine. Like, don't let the first thing you do every morning be dipping your emails. Don't instantly start watching the news. Like, find something that's motivating and makes you feel good, and start your day with that. And then after you get your mind cleared, go into the rest of the stuff. So that first post of the day, when you become consistent with it, and then the second and the third and the fourth, and I'll let you describe those, that's the consistency behavior. Like we tell you with mortgages, period, the prospect needs to be consistent. Everything you need to do needs to be consistent until it becomes that of a habit. Right. And then that's when the people start engaging. But like you said, Danica, it's got to be something of interest. Like, you don't watch a reality TV show that the topic sucks, like digging holes, the Jones family digging holes or whatever the hell. I mean, you're watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or something that's got content, because we have to think of our social media as a TV station, a TV show, right? So, Larry, what are those?
People
4
stop
posts?
for a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
People want to see a train wreck. People want to see you. And when you're a mom and when you're distance learning and when you're doing mortgages and balancing your entire family at home, people want to see that because they can relate with that content. They don't care what I'm doing during the day when I'm crunching numbers and determining people's debt to income ratio. That doesn't matter to them. What matters is me and my kids and my dogs. So Larry, to Larry's point, that's what he's going to talk about too, I'm sure.
Yeah. Everyone is going to have their own content, right? And you could borrow content. So it's okay for you not to be original at all times. But everyone's going to have their own content and what's important to them, right? I'll use Kelly Kilmer as an example. She runs right? That's her thing. She's a jogger or a runner or a marathon runner. I don't know what she does, but she does something athletic that involves her running, right? And that's her thing. And she posts about it every single day. That's her content, and that's the kind of audience that she's going to attract, right? I post like my wife's cooking every time I get every chance I get when it comes to dinner. Why? Well, number one, I don't have to create that. My wife creates that, right? So it's no effort on me. It's just me taking a picture, right? So that's the first reason. Second reason, it's relatable in a way. Like, I mean, yeah, I have more specific type dishes. It's not like a generic dish that every American eat, but I think some people who enjoy food in general or enjoy the kind of dishes that my wife would cook, they like seeing those posts, right? I always get people commenting about that, right? And it's just the reason why I do it is because, again, number one, it's created by someone else, and number two, it's consistent. I know I can post that every single day. I don't have to think about that post, right? I know it's going to happen, and I create an audience based on that. I create conversation based on that when people meet me in person or through DMs or whatever, right? I have real estate agents who talk to me about it. Say, "Oh man, your wife's cooking, da da da," and that's like all they want to talk about when we talk about working together. And then they go, "Okay, so yeah, let's talk about working together," but they talk about the food mostly, right? I also talk about like my children a lot, right? Because again, that's free content. My kids acting the fool, and then I just take a picture of it and I post it, and I just hashtag Lee Boys. So it gets to the point where people go, "Hey, what's up with the Lee Boys?" Right? It's a brand, right? So I'm just giving you examples of what I take from my own life, and I just post it consistently, and that's my story, right? And it doesn't have to always do with mortgages. It's just about who I am and what I'm doing. Because and Danica and Amy, I know you guys would agree with this, and I know Anthony would. It's just about selling who you are, right? We talk about lead generation, taking the salesperson out of it, right? When you talk about yourself and your life, you're no longer a salesperson. You're a human, right? You're a person. It's the Larry Lee show. It's the Amy Condon show. It's the Danica Stolnick show. It's the Anthony Mosley show, right? And you're going to have a different audience attracted to whatever content you provide that's either relatable, funny, or interesting, or whatever. I mean, not every single person that watches my content is a dad. Not every single person that watches my content likes Asian food, right? But because they're relating to it or whatever, or they think it's funny, that's why they subscribe to it. And that's really the point. I'm a salesperson, obviously, right? And anyone who asks, yeah, Larry sells mortgages or he sells robots or marketing, whatever, but that's not why they follow me. That's not why they connect with me. They connect with me because I'm telling my own personal story, right?
Yeah.
Everyone has that. Everyone has a story to tell. And that's really what you should focus on. Yes, talk about mortgages, talk about real estate and everything like that, but do it maybe once a day, maybe not even that much. You can do it twice a day, maybe, if you have a lot of, action, but don't talk like basically just like Donica was saying, she does it every single day in the morning, and the rest of her posts are funny posts, right? It's just like a radio station or a TV show, like you said, Anthony. It's about give them 3 posts for them and then 1 post for you, right? Just like a TV station, radio station. 3 minutes of music, 30 seconds of commercials. 2 minutes of music, a minute of commercials. You have to give them something for the audience first in order for them to engage so that they can see your important post or ad or promotion or sales pitch or whatever. So that's kind of the mindset you should have. We're talking about scheduling your posts. Well, yes, there's a schedule that you should try to follow, but really all you have to think about is posting 2 or 3 times or 4 times a day, making sure most of it is for the audience, and then your pitch. That's just the general mindset.
Thank you.
Of course.
So let's go to the ads themselves. And this is something when people always ask me, do I have to do this from my business page or do I do it from my personal? How do you begin with that? With where do you post from, and why is having a business page important? And then what are the do's and don'ts to having the business page?
Mm-hmm. I don't really, so when I'm running an ad for mortgages, which is very, very rare, like nobody wants a mortgage, they want a house. But when I'm running an ad for a mortgage, like a refi or the rates are great, or, tooting my own horn and asking for business, whatever, I want my face behind that because I want them to trust me because I've earned the trust. So I want to put my name behind that. When we're selling a house, we set up geographical community pages that are like North Texas Real Estate Network or Greater Fort Worth Real Estate Network. There's 30 of them.
Geographical community pages. This is huge. This was my biggest takeaway from learning from these two is geographical business pages. So explain that one to us real quick.
So that's just a community page where it's not necessarily hiding the salesperson, but giving them a more a less salesy edge, I guess, out there in the market. It's a little more comfortable for people to think that this is people who are going to embrace me and help me around this difficult financial decision I'm about to make, the biggest decision most people ever make. So they feel comfortable when it's a real estate network or when it's, you know, hot homes in Frisco. That has an edge. Whatever you want to call it, people have a need to group together, and geographically we're grouped together. So, hey, this person must be really great at finding a house and financing it in the greater Fort Worth area, but they don't know who the people are. So then we just get to make the whole point of the ad, the house that we're selling or whatever. Usually for me, it's houses. Like most of my ads are based on, hey, here's this house. Do you want it? Give me your name, email address, and phone number. And then we go help them. Like it's not ever about selling them. It's about helping them get into that house or one like it. And so I think the biggest things you want on your ads, I think that's what you're looking for, is you got to grab their attention. You got to tell them what you're selling, how you can solve their problem, genuinely how you can solve their problem. No, but like Ryan always said, it's not the drill anybody wants, it's the hole. So you got to sell the hole. And then at the very end, you have to ask them to click the button. Like you have to ask for business or you'll never get it. If you never ask, they're just going to assume that, oh, this is a pretty house, and then go over to Zillow and find one like it. Like you have to tell them that you can help them and how you're uniquely set up to help them with their unique situation. And then you have to target the people correctly to get in front of the people that have that unique situation. But if you don't ask for the business, you'll never get it. And then once you do get their name, email address, and phone number, you better call them pretty quick.
Yes.
Because they're going to forget they hit that button pretty quick.
Well, you know, human beings, we're not very patient and we
No.
want immediate gratification. So what you have to remember is when someone hits on a property site or a Facebook property page to look at a home, they're not just looking there. Like they're everywhere looking, right?
Yeah. And the first one who gets there probably gets the conversation. And that's whether you're doing Facebook marketing or selling a mortgage or selling a house, I think it's really important to know that that's very superficial. Them clicking a link on your ad is superficial. You need to get down to the nitty gritty and the real relationship real quick. So you have to take that offline or online offline and be a person, like relate to them and engage with them as you would help your own mother or your own sister or whoever. Like you really have to make that relationship a relationship, and you got to do it quick before somebody else does, because there's all of us out here doing it. And I guarantee you, if you don't call them in the first day, I already have, right?
Yes. So
like the urgency is in creating the relationship, though, not in getting a deal closed. The urgency is getting them to love you and want to do business with you, because then they never shop you. But it's not about generating the lead.
Correct. So like you said UVP, you didn't say UVP, the abbreviation is UVP. You're putting your value proposition out there within the ad as well, which you guys, if you're trying to sell to convert leads, stop. It's not about selling. It's about offering a solution to somebody's problem. The opportunity here is their problem is they can't find the house they want, right? So Amy, what's your value proposition in there? How are you structuring that to the ads? Like what's grabbing them?
Did she? Oh, we lost her.
Lost her. Larry, value proposition. So I saw like the ad that you wrote for me. It like go into that like Danica said, and it's very true. Is it's not we're not selling. We're building a relationship with them. So go into like how that is in your content. How you building your UVP in your content.
So my approach is a little bit more, I would say, aggressive, right? I'm basically targeting renters and saying that you're stupid for renting, for lack of a better description. And I tell them, why do people rent? The mindset is, either they don't think they have the scores, or they don't have the scores, or they don't have the money, right, to put down, right? So to me, a renter, those are the problems that we have. So I offer a solution immediately. I'm saying, why are you renting when you can buy? You can purchase a home with 0% down using the USDA home loan, right? That's really the value proposition I'm trying to push, is that, okay, I know why you're renting, because you don't have any money. Well, you can buy a USDA home for 0% down, right? I'm not saying you're going to qualify. I don't know if you're going to qualify. Who knows until we talk to you? But there's an option to buy. Everyone has 0% down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess some people could have negative percent down. But most people have 0% down at least, right? So that's kind of like the lead magnet, right? And how do I deliver on that? Well, I tell them, if they give me their information, I will provide them a list of homes that qualify for 0% down. Because like Danica said, we were taught by the same guy, don't sell the drill, sell the hole, right? The hole is the home, right? People, once they need a hole, then the drill becomes necessary. Okay, and the drill is the salesperson, the drill is the mortgage, the drill is the real estate agent. The hole is the home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm selling the home by saying, what I really want to do is look at homes. You know what I'm saying? Mortgages aren't sexy, but if I can get a home for 0% down, that makes the home really sexy. Homes. And, you know, by them getting information, we provide them the list of homes. We start a conversation. We go, hey, listen, you know, here's a list of homes, but, you know, if you're looking for something bigger or different area, well, give me some information so I can give you a better search. Right? You're tailoring the same information, but to their needs. And that's providing service. That's providing value. Right. You know, and sometimes people just straight up ask, like, how do I, well, so what's the 0% down? And that's when the mortgage comes in. And I'm go, okay, cool. Yeah, let's talk about the mortgage, because that's what obviously is what captures you, not the homes, but the fact that you get 0% down. So it's my sneaky way of selling a mortgage, when in reality, I'm not trying to sell a mortgage. I'm just trying to sell the houses that qualify for a certain mortgage. If that makes sense.
You're addressing their objections up front. So like
Absolutely.
9 times out of 10, everybody has 2 problems. They either don't have the credit score, or they don't have the down payment. So tell them, hey, I can solve the down payment problem for you if we get your credit score problem solved. You know, but it's all about getting that conversation. And then when you get them on the phone, it's a whole different Larry, right? It's not the aggressive robot Larry. It's the Larry that is a loving man who loves seeing people get into houses. You know, it's the same way. Like, we do this job because we love it, not because it's awesome. Like, it's not always awesome, but it is always really rewarding on closing day when we finally get to get those people into their dream house. Like, it's really a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it is one of the greatest. Go ahead.
You're using that content right there as one of your posts today. Brag about your clients. Don't brag about yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
So in those 4 posts, the most amazing thing you can do is tell a story about something amazing that happened for your clients that you were able to help facilitate.
Yeah.
Like Danica said, it's one of the most rewarding things in the world. Like, people who think they cannot qualify or didn't even think about buying because they were told by mom, dad, or cousin or neighbor that they couldn't qualify, and you get them in the home, it's like an amazing feeling. You feel like a freaking champ because you got them something that they didn't think was possible, right?
So, and 2 weeks ago, some of my clients did this amazing thing where it was like they had me crying like a mom watching Hallmark. Like, they went and closed, and then he carried her through the front door and handed her the key with her engagement ring in the loft, all live on Facebook, which wouldn't have happened if we didn't close on time. Like, this was a huge moment in their life, and it was. I mean, sometimes it really is worth it. Sometimes it really isn't, though. So you kind of got to pick your battles with this marketing stuff, because you do generate a whole lot of stuff to dig through. So you're shoveling a bunch of stuff.
So the topic is about lead sucking or converting or whatever, right? And I think the reason why people feel that way is because, like Danica was saying, sometimes it's not worth it. Meaning, not worth it because the mortgage business is tough, but also digging through a bunch of leads and getting a bunch of like, oh, this guy doesn't qualify, whatever. It's disheartening, and you feel like you're wasting time, right? But, you know, if you talk to 100 people and one of them qualifies and that one person gets the house, to me, it's worth talking to the 99 people. And you're not like throwing those 99 people away. You're just not able to help them at that moment. But at least you give a consultation or give some sort of advice or direction, because before they met you, they didn't have any direction. You know, they had, again, mom telling them bad advice about buying a home, you know? So to me, lead generation is important not just because I'm trying to find that deal. I'm not trying to get every single application pre-qualification. I want to touch as many lives as possible and tell them what it takes to qualify, right? And a lot of these people don't realize it because they're renting for the last 10 years. You get what I'm saying? So at least with a conversation, I'm like, listen, you need to do this, you need to do this. You need some money, right? I know it's 0% down, but you need some money for closing costs and such. But at least I give them some sort of direction. And through my license and the whole idea of committing the confidence of the community, I'm hopefully giving them some sort of valuable information that's going to get them to the road of home ownership. And because they're in my database, when they're ready, hopefully they remember me whenever they want to buy a house. So to me, every single lead is important. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones who need help, right? But obviously we want to get paid. So the ones that do qualify are the ones that, of course, we can put energy into and convert and grow. But I think the mindset of lead generation is why people suck at lead generation. It's not that leads suck. It's just you don't have the right approach with it.
Dude, I think the lead generation part is easy.
It is.
I think the difficult part
Absolutely.
is the conversion. So you can go out and catch a fish, man, but you're watching Wicked Tuna? You guys ever watch Wicked Tuna? Like those guys, they'll get a fish on, but it might take 5 or 6 hours to get up to the boat and then it breaks.
Yeah.
How are you converting these leads? That is the gold at the end of the rainbow right there.
Well, I think for me, it's a series of small closes. First of all, I need to get them to answer the phone. Then I need to get them from, oh, this is some chicks that cold called me from an ad I clicked on a generic Facebook page, to this is my loan officer. Like that's my next goal, is to get them to not necessarily sign an application, but we have to get to a relationship level where we're now besties and they're not going to call anyone else to do their mortgage. And it's these little short closes. And then, I stick with them. I call them every month. I check in and make sure they're doing what I told them to do after we gave them the roadmap. And if I don't, shame on me. Somebody else is going to get that. Somebody else is going to get that half of the silver platter that I prepared for this underwriter. And it's going to be someone else's underwriter if I don't call them. Luckily, most of them call me because I'm real successful in that one part, getting them to call me their loan officer. Like I am the only loan officer they know, the only one they're going to work with, and there's no reason not to. So I think that's how I'm successful in it. It's all about taking the online offline for me, like being absolutely social and friendly and taking care of people, setting up the right plan, and ultimately making them trust that I'm the one that's going to get them into that house.
Yep.
The only one.
And Danica, she's just, let's just put it this way. She has that actual like drive and passion to give everyone that all, right? And I think most loan officers and real estate agents don't do that, right? So, and if you really break down what she said, it's about statistics. It's about touches, right? They say it takes up to 6 to 8 touches to convert a lead, right? Or get them to at least respond, right? So if you think about that, if it's 6 to 8, that means some people convert or contact on the first, and some people take 12 to 16 touches before they convert, if the average is 6 to 8, right? So, I have a different take on how I try to stay in front of people, and it's all through technology, right? It's through getting them into my Facebook groups. It's to get them to like the page. It's to try to DM them if they comment on my post. It's sending them, automated text messages and emails and voicemails, right? I also get the agents involved, right? Like the way I actually built my system and what I do for a lot of my clients is I actually build a system where it automatically drops the lead into a Facebook group, and then the agents, they claim the lead and they call the lead themselves. So I have not only myself, my team, my robots, but the agents all attacking these leads at the same time, right? Well, I shouldn't say at the same time. Once a lead comes into our database, we're all touching them in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So conversion could be immediate, or it could be, like Danica said, a relationship. It's, okay, well, I just want to look at your home sales, look at the list. And then all of a sudden I see them clicking on my list and they're favoriting some homes. Then I might call them after that. Or I might say, hey, agent, that lead is actually clicking favorites on some of your properties that you're looking at. You should give them a call. So there's different ways in converting. And the truth of the matter is every lead's different. Some of them will answer the phone, and some of them need to get 50 different versions of the emails, text messages, and Facebook posts and such before they trust you. before they even even willing to allow you to call them or text them, right?
All right.
So I use technology that way to do that.
Yeah, I think those that are actually successful at this have to use both. I certainly can't make 8 touches live.
Mm-mm.
So like I've got emails firing off. They're not quite as aggressive as Larry's emails, but text messages being sent out. And then it's me. Some of the phone calls, they've got to be me. I drop some fly dials, if they're, hey, you want to see if you're out shopping this weekend. But most of the time it's me making a manual phone call. But I can't make 87 manual phone calls a day. So I got to let technology do some of that hustle for me. And if you're not mixing both heart and technology together, you'll never successfully convert a lead. Like that's just not going to happen. And you can continue blaming leads all you want, but it's not the lead's fault. It's your fault if you don't convert them in some way, shape, or form.
And the
what she said, I want to emphasize is you got to do both. You cannot just throw leads in a drip campaign and expect it to work.
Mm-hmm.
That is half-assed. There's no gratification there. You have to do both. And it's almost like running an ad itself. If the people see you and like they see you showing up on their phone, call, text, email, repeat, call, text, email, repeat. Leverage what automation can do for you, but you have to do the same. And Larry's right. It might seem weird. I mean, Wayne hit us one day with the rule of 3-3-3 equals 33. It was like 3 calls, 3 texts, 3 emails over the first 3 days. And that's
a lot.
You need to use some automation if you're doing that. We're not saying that's the way to go and do it, but if you're like extremely aggressive and you're dying to close some deals out there and you need to put some food on your kids' plates, that is what you're going to do to make it happen.
Do the work, make the calls. They want to talk to a human. They don't want to talk to a robot, but that robot can tap them for you. It can set them up for you. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, did you get that text message yesterday? It can be an automated email that I sent based on a text message that I sent with automation yesterday. Like, it doesn't have to be pushy and aggressive. It can be caring and informational. Add some content on the way. Tell them what the process looks like, because that's what they're scared of. They're scared that we're going to tell them no. So show them all the reasons we say yes. Show them some of the really cool things you have to offer them, and then get them excited. People aren't going to call you back if they think you're going to tell them no. They're only going to call you back if they think you can help them.
So one of the things I say all the time, and it's kind of like a cultural saying of mine, is we don't say no, we say how. This one a realtor I am working with right now he's taking the leads and he's working them. And I said, well, how are things going? He's like, dude, we got a bunch of nurtures right now. We have a bunch of people who are, need credit repair, blah, blah, blah. And he's treating them with that respect. And recently this has been a couple months. This lead was obtained, came back, and their scores now, they had to pay a Capital One card down, silly things of that nature. That's where we come in as professionals, right? Is to educate. And once again, we're telling people how we can solve their problems. So it takes the sale out, which makes it more comfortable for you guys, makes it more comfortable for them and more effective for all of us. But don't throw away those people who don't qualify today, because I'm going to tell you, majority of the people you're going to get off any kind of lead gen system are going to need a little help. And if you treat those the right way, that's your pipeline 6 months down the road, like massive.
Or 3 years. Yeah. 3 years, Anthony. Like Larry and I started doing these funnels, 4 years ago, Larry? Maybe 5? Like he probably had a head start on me. I think he's frozen. But
he's
like I still have people, right? I still have people calling me from 4 years ago because I never stopped loving on them. I never gave up on them. I've befriended them on Facebook. Like they were friends now. So like I am their loan officer for life, no matter if I generated it yesterday or 4 years ago. I never give up on these people.
And see, Danica said something key that I know a lot of you guys who are watching aren't doing. She friended leads, okay? Friended. That means she got a person that she found somehow generating leads, and she made them a Facebook friend. And now they subscribe to the Danica show for the rest of their lives until they block her and follow her. That's another way of touching someone. That's another way of converting. That's another way of staying in front of them without any effort, really. I I mean, Donna's
Because I'm already posting 5 to 7 times a day. They're gonna see it too.
exactly.
They might as well giggle too.
Yeah, absolutely. And now she's
Or
selling
gasp.
herself. Yeah, she's selling herself now. She's not selling the salesperson. She's not selling the mortgage. She's just selling herself, and reminding them that she's in the mortgage business. But she's selling herself. They get to see her post about her personal lives and her kids and everything.
But Larry, what if they don't like me? But Larry,
who cares?
Right, somebody else will open up that spot to let somebody else that does like you in. It's about going deeper, not wider. Like, you don't need a bunch of haters on your Facebook feed. You want people that are like you, that inspire you and motivate you. Because otherwise, why would you be on something called social media if it's constantly going to make you miserable?
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, if someone doesn't want to work with you through their social media, they would probably be horrible to work with anyways as a client. You know, if they found out who you are in person in real life and they don't like you, then they might be a nightmare client anyways, right? So save yourself some headache and go look for people who love you. The people who love you, they're gonna be more willing to work with you, right? They'll give you more concessions, meaning they'll be patient with you and everything like that because they love you, they have a relationship with you. They're not gonna ask you for a deal or a better rate because they love you, right? So you end up working with the ideal client, people who love you, and they're not going to shop the crap out of you and treat you like crap. You know, they're going to respect you and they love you because you're friends. Those are the kind of clients I want to work with.
I think most importantly about what you said, Larry, is that you gotta, like, to do that, you have to put your heart out there. Like, you have to be you on a page, or how are they going to know if they love you or not? How do they know what to love if all you're doing, I post a lot of dumb memes, a lot of them, but every single day there's a personal aspect. Every single day there's a couple personal aspects. They need to know who I am still. Yeah, most of me is funny memes and making people laugh or roll their eyes. But, you know, as long as no press is bad press, isn't that what they say? Like, if they're rolling their eyes, they're still looking at me. You know what I mean? And if they don't like it, they'll get out of there. If they don't like it, they're not going to like the way I talk on the phone when we're doing the mortgage either.
And I want to say one last thing about that. Even if they don't like you, Danica, or like me or like you, Anthony, they know that you're real, right? And the fact that they know you're real, they know about your lives, they can trust you, and you have an edge over some other loan officer that cold called them. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I'm telling you, I do mortgages for people who probably don't agree with me politically or about how I raise my children or whatever, but because they trust me and they've seen me for the last 2, 3, 4 years, they know who I am, they know what I'm about, they know where I live, basically, they know how to find me. So to them, that's valuable enough to do a mortgage with. You know what I'm saying? So
I think my wife is following you on Facebook now because it's so flippin' entertaining, dude. It is. It hurts, but it's entertaining at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But we said this yesterday. We did that call with a new LO of ours yesterday, and we said, "Hey, bud, you know, for every one person that you push away, you're going to pull 3 in. And if people don't like you for who you are, then they can go find someone else, because it's most important to be authentic, to be you. You will have a more fantastic life. You will feel better. You'll be more confident, and that radiation of confidence will pull other people back into. And Danica and Larry are right with the fact that if someone doesn't like you, you're probably gonna have problems with them on the transaction. Do you really want that person? And when Danica tells you she keeps clients for life, she does. And the only way that she's able to do that is to be herself. If she was being fake and not real, like, it would come out. It comes out sometime. Plus, it's exhausting to you. You know, it's like the scene from 8 Mile when Stuman said this a few weeks ago. You know, he came out and told everybody everything that was bad about him, and then the negative people had nothing to come back on him with. Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this up. I really want to thank you guys very much. We went flipping way over, but that's how good the content was. If you are interested and don't know how to set up an ad or want to have more talks, comment below and we will put together a private group meeting for us to help you guys out, because we love to give. We expect nothing in return.
This shouldn't be hard. This part is not hard.
No,
You just really got to calm down and take a deep breath.
If my old ass figured it out, anybody can figure it out.
The hardest part is converting, guys, just so you know. And before we end this, and this is something I know everyone will agree upon. If you want to know why your lead sucks, because you suck, and the reason why you suck is you're not calling your leads, and you should call them within 5 minutes or less. Okay. If let's put it this way, I'm pretty sure if I asked everyone in the audience to raise their hand, if you call your leads within 5 minutes or less, I probably would hear crickets. Most of you guys do not do that, and that's why you're sucking in converting. Okay. So if you call your leads within 5 minutes, they say like 67% convert on the first person that contacts them, right? Some crazy statistic. So be the first person to contact, but that's the way I look at it. Is lead generation is easy, guys. So we can teach you that all day long. You got to convert. And how do you convert? Well, got to pick up the phone and call right away, right? At least try that, or have someone do it for you, right? So
you don't need scripts.
No,
that's bullshit.
No.
Be prepared, know who you are, and present your value.
Hey, I got your information from the Facebook page. You need some help? That's basically it. Yeah.
You applied for that list of homes on Facebook, and I just wanted to make sure that I got your information right.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty damn easy. All right. So, like I said, if you comment below, us three will put together something. Anybody, I don't care if there's one or two of you. This is our passion. This is what we do. Danica and I get to jump on another call right now with our Hero Nation Tribe family. And then we get to jump on another one with Larry after that for Hero Nation Field Call, which if you are interested in any of that jazz, hit one of us three up too. We will invite you in for a free field call. And FUEL stands for Fully Unleashed Epic Life. And you can see it radiating out of us. We're just here to help. We're here to help build industry people. We're not getting any money to do this right now on Mitch's page. Shout out to Mitch Peak. Thank you for putting together this page.
Appreciate it, boss.
Great dude, man. I hope your family and yard is all put back together.
Hopefully Amy to contribute too. We lost her, so hopefully she can contribute as well.
Amy will contribute. I think her internet blew up. It was Russia.
Yeah.
Or kids with the distance learning.
It's probably the kids.
Killing our internet.
Yeah.
We had to add a second line to our house.
Oh,
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Business
well, because
line?
we're both trying to Zoom. Yeah, we're both trying to Zoom at the same time sometimes. And the kids are on digital learning trying to Zoom. If 4 people are Zooming in one suburban house, it gets a little jammed.
I'm working out of a small office right by my house. It's like a mixed workspace.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a couple professors in here now working. The professors are in here working because they're teaching from at home. So they need someone that's got high-speed internet. It's pretty cool, right?
That is pretty cool.
All right.
All right,
love you guys. We'll see you
love
later.
you too. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.